Looks like you already have.
So I just came from watching Ballerina from the world of John Wick, which is a new movie that is a meaning side sequel, meaning that it's a sequel to John Wick 3. It's a movie that's happening at the same time as John Wick 3, and it also comes like right after the events of John Wick 3, before John Wick 4, something like that. Just from the title, it gave me like Furiosa vibes. Furiosa, a Mad Max story, basically taking place in a world that we are familiar with, but it's not focusing on the character that we care about. This movie is about Eve Macaro. Eve Macaro, as a kid, her dad was killed by this cult, and now she's going to go, kill that cult. That's basically the simple premise. If you haven't watched this film, I'm not going to have any like major spoilers. You might be thinking, it's just another revenge movie. Well, yeah, but kind of compelling-ish, because the character goes through like this sort of hero's underdog journey where she's struggling to actually train up. They bother to show you her going through this assassin school process and becoming better and better so that she can be able to take on enemies. And the movie actually brings up the whole issue of the fact that this is a chick, she's skinny, and well, she's going to be going up against dudes twice her size. And I like the fact that the one training her tells her, well, fight like a girl and cheat, use things to your advantage, the environment and stuff like that. I like that because that's how like Black Widow in the Avengers, that's what makes her so believable, is that she's using the environment to her advantage. There's this one scene where she's training and then her trainer asks her, how did this guy beat you? And it reminded me so much of Morpheus and Neo fighting.
How did I beat you? You're too fast.
In the first Matrix. And just thought I should mention that in case you've watched this movie. This movie suffers from what I like to call John Wick combat problems. John Wick combat problems, meaning that just like in the John Wick movies, John Wick faces some goons. These goons should pull out a gun and shoot him, but instead they pull out knives. That also happens here. This chick definitely is about to fight some goons, and then instead of pull out a gun, but they pull out knives, and you're just like, oh man, just like the John Wick movies. I think that's why even in the John Wick movies they had to invent the bulletproof jacket, because clearly you see that the enemies should be pulling out guns to shoot you, but instead they pull out knives. There's this one scene they show in the movie where this chick walks out of like a bathroom, she's wounded or something, and they show you the aftermath of a certain fight. When I was watching this scene, I was like, I wish they had shown us the events that led to, this aftermath. You want to show us that she's badass and she's fully trained now and she can kick ass, but it would have been nice to see the fight that caused this entire mess. A lot of people might think that John Wick is popular because of all the headshots, but really what makes John Wick very compelling is, the guy, his wife died, and then he was left a puppy, and then some people came and killed the puppy. Once you kill the puppy, you're the enemy, John Wick films, the 4 films are definitely more compelling than this, but I think Eve Macaro, the character, she's an underdog, so she's likable enough that you care. This chick has serious plot armor, man. This chick has serious plot armor. The amount of times that she should have definitely died, and she doesn't, irritated me, to be honest with you. Like, let me give you one example with no real spoilers. There's this one scene where someone throws in a grenade into the room. It blows up and she gets flung into like a pole. You should have died. Your skull should have cracked there, or your neck should have snapped. And it happens many times. There's a part where she gets into a car, then someone rams into the car. You should have died. In my opinion, you should have died, or you should have been gravely injured. Wasn't there a John Wick movie where John Wick was so injured that he had to go and have someone stitch him up or something? Yeah, you don't get that here. The chick just walks off injuries. There is this one tavern fight scene, maybe around the 1 hour mark. Was pretty good. It was pretty John Wickish. It was shot there like a proper John Wick movie would be shot. And there's some very interesting kills. Like this chick, there's one scene where she puts a grenade in someone's mouth. That was pretty good. Also, some callbacks. Like this chick uses a sword. I think that has happened in a previous John Wick movie. And also, if you check the cast, John Wick is here. He also says, actions, consequences. So some nice callbacks there. And I thought the movie had generally great pacing. Out of 10, I think I'd give it a 7. The final like 20 minutes are like super dope. I'd give it a 7.5. Yeah, I thought it was decent. I saw a headline somewhere saying that this movie is bombing, probably just like Furiosa. It's using a brand name that you are familiar with, but it doesn't have the character that you want. But I thought it was a good movie, so I'll give it a 7.5. If you've watched this, give me your thoughts in the comments. I just thought that the chick had crazy plot. The amount of times she survives, and in my head I'm like, you should have died. But other than that, nothing else major to complain about. On this screen, I'll leave other reviews I've done for 2025 films. Check them out. I'll see you in the next one.